Good morning, everybody. It is, let's see, what do we have? It is Monday, March 3rd. I welcome you to another day of our beloved journey of the Essenes in the Essene Book of Days. Thank you all so much for being here, for tuning in, and for partaking of what Magdalene and Yeshua explained to me is that every time that they come and they speak, there's a frequency that upgrades us. So as we listen to this, as we're present to this, as we indulge in this, something magical is happening behind the scenes, and I absolutely love that idea. So today the seasonal focus says brooks run free and buds appear. The morning focus is the angel of life. Opening. Meditate while touching a houseplant. Exchange energy with this being. I went for a walk the other day, and as I was walking through my mother's garden, I just reached out and I was greeting the plants and the trees and the bushes, and I hugged a couple of the trees and communicated with them. It was such an unbelievably beautiful experience. They're available for us for communication. And today's meditation says, and now the life force in me, as in all beings, cries out to know itself apart from the mother. My life, the uniqueness which I am, calls to me to experience. For it is only in the full freedom of my own experiencing that I gain the wisdom of my connectedness with all that is. For I am the one, and I am also the many. Today I will bring my spirit of uniqueness to reestablishing where everything belongs in this house. I had a very interesting experience when I was in the south of France, where I kind of pulled back and shrank some of my, I guess, gifts and abilities, because what I was trying to do was conform and to fit. And I got very, very clear on that last night. And I decided I'm not conforming and fitting into anything. I am who I am. I am as God made me. And I'm not going to allow my ego to taint that in any way. And there was this feeling of like absolute surrender to God, which felt so amazing. So I'm bringing my spirit of uniqueness to all of that, and to how it is that I want to live, not in accordance with what anyone else feels comfortable with. And if they do not feel comfortable in my presence, they do not have to be in my presence. And I say that with all of the love that I have in my heart. I'm a very particular flavor, if you know what I mean. And I'm not everybody's flavor, but the people that love me, love me. I'm very blessed. Okay, so today, let's see. If we add 31 and 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, we are on lesson number 62. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Okay, whoa, this is a long one. Magdalene had a lot to say about this. Here we go. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Magdalene's channeled message. Greetings, beloveds. Indeed, your function as the light of the world is forgiveness. For in choosing to have an egoic experience, much less a human experience, there has been a design of human will, of egoic will, to create circumstances that become worthy of forgiveness. Well, that makes complete sense. The largest forgiveness, beloveds, is the forgiveness of self. For in that, you allow yourself to remember. You allow yourself to see all that you have forgotten. Because what occurs is, in that moment of forgiveness, there is light that is amplified. And in that light, the shadow is dissolved and the truth is revealed. If you understood the power of forgiveness, you would indeed forgive at every opportunity. It allows you to see what has always been there, that has been hidden from you, hidden for you, hidden by you, through the perception of reality, through the mind of the ego. This all makes sense, does it not? As you allow your heart to capture the beauty and the love and the grace that you are, there is light that fills you. And then the refraction of the light, as it works through the prism of the human spectrum of egoic mind, allows you to see what has always been there, that was not visible to the naked eye, if you will. You begin to see the beauty of your life. You begin to hear sounds that will bring you delight. You begin to look upon situations and circumstances that heretofore have always been frustrating to you and say, ah, I may see this in a new light, the light of forgiveness. For forgiveness pours down light onto you, beloveds, pours down light onto those circumstances that you have always deemed to be harsh and painful. What you have known to create misery in your life, anxiety, frustration, sadness, and fear, all of this is shown to be what it truly is, which is not but the meanderings of a mind that has believed that the world is real. And as you bring these moments of forgiveness to yourself, beloved ones, you begin to see that all that you have perceived to be unreal becomes real. Your imagination becomes rich, full field of your creation. Wow. You will, in the use of imagination, your will in the use of imagination is merely will to see the truth. This is the power of will, beloveds. You can will yourself to do anything, and through the right use of will, light is revealed. So, as you will yourself to forgive yourself and all others, you will find revelation that will bring you back to the truth of yourselves. If you have situations with family where you have determined that a being is a certain way, will always be that way, imagine what would happen if you were actually able to forgive this being, this person that you believe has caused you harm. You could see through them, through the eyes of love and the eyes of truth and through the eyes of forgiveness. You would truly see that it is through this simple action that you bring forth the light that you are, beloveds. It is very simple formula. You see? For forgiveness grants light, and light grants truth. Recalibration, beloveds, is always a good idea, and forgiveness allows you to recalibrate. Pause for a moment. Ask yourself, are you truly seeing the circumstances and the situation or the person through the eyes of love, through the eyes of truth? And if not, grant yourself and the other being, the seeming other being, forgiveness. And forgiveness will indeed show you the light. The light is revealed through every action of forgiveness, beloved ones. So allow yourselves to be well on the journey of life, granting light through the use of will to all, each and every circumstance. And here you will find your freedom. Here you will find your pathway back to truth, back to love, back to the very essence of the beingness that you are. My children were taught to forgive, to see things through the eyes of innocence. And that is what my beloved taught to all of us. This is what we have learned. Rather than seeing one as guilty, allow one to be seen as innocent. Before condemning yourself or anyone else, allow yourself to question, what have I granted to this circumstance? How could I perceive this through the eyes of love? And when you are able to grant forgiveness, understand that there also must be a component where you forgive yourself for the ways that you have bent your mind to see light other than it truly is. And in that divine moment, beloveds, of forgiveness, you find the truth of life. You find the truth of love. You find the truth of yourself. And then you grant to all beingness, because there is no aspect of you that does not indeed impact and affect another. You grant to another the beingness that God has granted to you, that of truth, that of light, and that of love. So forgive often and briefly, beloved ones. Know that you are indeed within your right as a holy and divine being to grant that forgiveness to yourself. God does not need you to forgive you, because in God's mind, there is nothing that is worthy of forgiveness. But there is nothing that you have done that needs to be forgiven, beloveds. The forgiveness comes within the individuation that says, in this circumstance, I have chosen something other than the light and the love of God. For that, forgive yourself, and there you will find your freedom. We love you. We bless you. We are with you always. Call upon us, beloved ones, and we will speak with you again. How gorgeous is that? Oof, I love that. Love that. Love that. Okay, let us bring forth our beloved Magdalene and see what message of love she has for us today. Greetings, beloved ones. Beloved ones, we have spoken that forgiveness is key to the unlocking and the undoing of the errors that have occurred within the egoic mind, to say that we believe that a person is a certain way, that it is fixed, that it is certain, that they could never change. We believe that we have certain behaviors and certain habits, beloved, that we too are fixed with, that they could never change. Beloved, we want you to understand that the great miracle of life is when you allow yourself a different perception and you say, this thing that I have believed to always be a certain way, with a certain behavior and a certain voice and a certain tone and a certain habit and a certain behavior, may be a way completely other than the way that I have perceived it. I wonder what the truth could be of this being. And ask, beloveds, to have revealed to you by Holy Spirit, by your higher self, the truth of each being. Yeshua used to ask us to look upon any circumstance that troubled us and be able to see the eyes of love looking back at us. Could you look upon, say there is a tree that you do not like, for it drops leaves in your yard. Is there a different way that you could look at this tree and you could say, this very tree provides oxygen that I breathe. If I do not have oxygen, I will cease to exist in a mortal form. And then you would say, maybe I can forego the upset regarding the leaves and have appreciation for this being that is able to withstand all temperatures. And then you would look upon a person and you would say, I do not like the way this person chews their food. They make horrible mashing noises with their mouth. What if you could allow yourself to look upon this person and say, this person is someone that I love. This person is a member of my family. Maybe I could forgive the way that they chew. Maybe I could step out of the room when they are about to eat. There are so many solutions to these seeming problems, beloved ones. We do indeed jest with you, but what we want you to understand truly, beloveds, is that you have at every moment the choice to perceive things differently. And in that shift and in that change in perception, what you will allow yourself to do is to forgive and to give as before. And to give as before is to give open-heartedly with absolute love and commitment to the enjoyment of being in the presence of each and every circumstance and each and every being and each and every object within your existence, for you have populated it with your mind. This does indeed get a little more, shall we say, complicated to explain. But if you understood that you have, through the thoughts within your mind, literally manifested everything in your existence, you would begin to get an inkling of the power that you have being in alignment with the mind of God. We thank you, beloveds, always for your listening ears, for your open hearts, and for the willingness that you have to change your minds, for that is what will allow you to adapt and to grow. Blessings to you, beloved ones, and greetings and salutations until we speak with you again. Thank you all so much for being here. I wish you the most magical day, and I will see you again tomorrow.